Welcome to Condashura Designs. Today we are going to be making a mummy out of terracotta pots. The mummy that I will be making today is about 13.5 inches tall, but you can always make your mummy bigger if you would like by buying bigger terracotta pots. Just know that if you do that, you'll need more material and your templates will need to be adjusted for your bigger mummy. So let's get started. Here are the supplies that you will need to make the 13.5 inch mummy. You will need 3 4-inch clay pots, 2 clay saucers, one at 5 inches in diameter and the other at around 4 1/4 inch in diameter. You'll need an iron and an iron pad, a hot glue gun with extra glue sticks, a finger protector if you need that to protect you from the hot glue, scissors, templates for the mummy's face, eyes, and mouth, your E6000 glue, a tape measure, 2 cardboard tubes, 2 yards of muslin, and we're going to be tearing those into 1.5 inch strips, and you'll need some felt. I have sandstone, black, white, green, and purple. Let's get started. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is start gluing our terracotta pots together. We're going to use our E6000 glue. It does bond really well to the clay pots. It's going to take a while for it to dry. So you're going to put a nice, generous amount of glue on the bottom of the first little saucer. This is the little saucer we're doing first, okay? And we're going to put our first clay pot on top of that, and we're going to really press it down. Make sure it's staying there good. All right. The nice thing is we can keep going. Next, we're going to turn this pot upside down, and we're going to put it on like that. So we're going to put our E6000 glue around the rim. This glue does have an odor, so you might want to have a fan going while you are doing this, because you are using quite a bit of it. Okay, we're just going to put this right on top. It doesn't matter if the glue is coming over the edge a little bit, because we're going to be covering it with muslin anyway. Now we're going to take our third pot and we're going to put it right on top of that one. Here again, a nice generous amount. Now, the other saucer, the bigger saucer, we need to put right on the top, like that. So, we're going to actually put the glue inside here on the rim, because I can tell it's hitting here. So we're going to put the glue on the inside of our saucer. Nice generous amount. Need quite a bit of it. Make sure it's going to stick. Okay, and then you're going to take it and you're going to put it right on top. Make sure everything's lined up the way you would like it. Now we have to let this dry for at least 24 hours. While our pots are drying, we can do some things. So we're going to carefully move this off of here. And I'm just going to move it back here so it can dry there for quite a while. Like I said, it probably needs about 24 hours to dry. So in the meantime, we are going to work on our muslin. And I'm going to show you how to tear that so you get that fun little fringe going. The first thing we're going to do with our muslin is I bought 2 yards, and so I need to cut it in half because these strips will be way too big. So I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to line it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to take my bigger scissors and I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm just going to take that top one off, put it to the side. Now I've cut the 2 yards into 1 yard apiece. And now we need to start ripping our muslin into strips. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find out which way our grain is going. So on this, our grain is going lengthwise. So we're going to have to make sure that we tear it that way. So I know at the beginning when we were going through supplies, I said let's cut our strips at 1.5 inches. I'm going to change that. I think we need to cut them at 2 inches because once we get that fringe going, it will be about the 1.5. So let's do the 2 inches. So I'm going to get my tape measure. I'm going to line it up and I'm going to cut a little bit down, not too far down, but a little bit because you want to be able to get a grip on your fabric. So once you get the grip, you're going to start pulling it apart. And you're going to rip it all the way down. Don't be afraid. Just rip it. It will be 2 inches all the way down. Okay? Let's do it again. We're going to measure it at 2 inches. Cut it down just a little bit. Enough to get that grip. And rip. So as you can see, it's pretty simple to rip the material. So we're just going to keep doing this. We're going to cut all our material and rip it. We'll cut and rip it. Well, sometimes it's a little tough. Just keep working at it and it will come. There's another one. We're just going to do all our material. Now we have our material all ripped out. So now we need to, if you see, you can see some little strings hanging out. This is what's going to cause the fringe to happen. So with each one of these, we're going to go through and we're going to pull some of this out to make a fringe. So I'll show you how that looks. I'm going to put that over there. So I'm just going to keep starting up at the beginning, at the top, and I'm going to try to take about 4 this time, and I just go all the way down. See how it's making that fringe? This will be time consuming because you want it to where you really like it, and it does take time to pull these out. And I don't know if you can see some of these taller fringes. If you'd like to keep them like that, you may, or you can cut them. I personally am going to cut them to make them a little more even. So you can see why this can take some time. You don't have to do this. I just like the looks of that better. I still want some more, so I'm going to take a few more. And I'm going to go all the way down. All right, and then I will go back and I will cut those. And then you have to do it to the other side too. Take some, start pulling it. So both sides of every strip, you have to do this too. And you also need to do it to the top, because we want a fringe on the top and the bottom of our strips. So same process, just find those pieces of thread and pull them out to give you that fringe. Okay, and to the other side. Okay. I'm going to cut some of these longer pieces because I don't want that on mine. And I'm going to do this before I go on to my next strip. And just keep doing this to all those strips. This will be time consuming, but our clay pots have to dry for 24 hours, so we have time. We don't even have to rush. Just take your time. Now that we have our muslin all ripped out and ready to go, we need to iron it. So I like to use my Cricut, my mini Cricut iron, and I'm going to set it at 2 and let that heat up. You can use a big iron. It doesn't matter, we just need to smooth this muslin out. So we're going to wait for that to heat up, and I will be right back. All right, that only took a couple of minutes for that to warm up. So you're just going to take one strip at a time. Make sure you have your pad down. And we're just going to start ironing. And yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but it will be well worth it. And just continue doing this with all of your strips. So as I was ironing, I'm noticing some of the strings I'm not quite liking. So I'm just gonna pull some more string. Like this one, I want another string off of here. So I'm just going to pull another string. So as you're ironing, you might come across this, and it's okay. You know, pull more string out to give more of a fringe to where you would like it to be. Okay, so I'm liking it a little better. I'm gonna take a couple more out. And if you find yourself doing this, then just go back and iron it again. Well, that's better. So now I'm just going to go back and iron it. I see a couple of strays here, so I'm going to pull this one too. And then re-iron. Oh, that looks much better. So don't be afraid to pull some of those strings to give more of a fringe where you would like it. All right, we're all done ironing, so we're going to turn off our iron, and we're going to put this aside, and we're going to pull over the felt and the templates so we can work on the face. Now that we've gotten the strips all ironed and we've got that kind of out of the way, we're going to start working on the face for our mummy. So you'll want to get your felt together and a template. You'll have to make your own templates. One thing that I did was I just did a trapezoid for the mummy's face, and ovals for the eyes, a half moon for the eyelid, and then a smiley face. I like doing my own kind of templates because it just gives your mummy a personality that you want for your mummy to have. When you make your templates, I recommend making them out of cardstock. They'll hold together better. And then trace it with a Sharpie onto your felt. And let's get started on this. So I'm going to take my sandstone felt first. I'm going to take my template of the face and I'm going to lay it on there and trace that out. And then I'm just going to cut on the inside of where I marked. And that will be the mummy's face. And now we're going to move on and cut out the eyes. Now, with the eyes, because we're using black, you do need some type of a white colored pencil, something so you'll be able to trace, or you can just hand cut it either way. So I'm just going to trace this. I know you guys probably cannot see this, but it is marking it, trust me. I can see it. Barely, but I can see it. And then do 2 and then cut those out. Now remember, doing a craft like this, it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as you're happy with the final product. That's all that matters. Just have fun with this. So those are the ovals for the back of the eye. Now I'm going to cut out the white part of the eye. We're just going to trace the eye and cut these out as well. Once you get the white part of the eye cut out, make sure that it is the way you would like it to sit on the black part. And if for some reason you're not liking certain things, just adjust it to where you would like it. You might have to cut a little bit more off, and that's okay. So after you've got the white part, we're going to do the green part. So same method. Take your green felt, trace it, and cut it. Once you've got the green cut out, you're going to place it on and see if you like how it's looking. I'm liking that. Also, if you don't want to use green felt, you don't have to. You can use blue, brown, any color you would like. So next we are going to do the pupil. Now originally I had this small piece for the pupil. I have changed my mind. I'm not going to use that. I'm actually going to use the green template to make the pupil. I'm just going to cut it down further so it will have that pupil look, but also showing the green underneath. So I will show you what I mean by that. I'm going to take my template. I'm going to move these a little bit out of the way. And I'm just, instead of tracing, I'm just going to cut a piece out. I'm going to use my template and I'm just going to cut around. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes mishaps are good with Halloween crafts. Okay, so I cut it and now I'm just going to Just eyeball it, ha ha ha, and cut it around like that, like so. I'm going to keep that to the side, and I'm going to make the other eye. And I'm going to bring this over and use it as the template so it looks the same, so it's symmetrical, and make them a little more round. And then I'm going to pull the eyes over. I'm going to put that on there. Like that, a little big. I'm going to cut it a little bit more. What I do to one, I have to do to the other. And with the black, it is harder to see, but that's why I say it doesn't have to be perfect. Just have fun. All right, I like that. We're going to keep it that way. All right, now it's time to do the eyelid. So I'm going to grab my purple felt and my template and trace two of them. And we're going to cut those out and place them on the eye to see how that looks. Once I have the eyelids cut out, I'm going to kind of bring the eye over and make sure that it can go all the way across, so I'll be able to glue it onto the sandstone felt. I don't know if you can see, but I like how it goes over the whole eye like that up here, just so it gives it a really fun little look. So that one looks great. I'm going to push that aside. I'm going to bring this one over and do the same. Make sure that there's enough room for gluing it onto the sandstone part. And yes, there's plenty of room. So now we're going to do the mouth. I think I'm going to use green for the mouth. So I'm going to grab my green felt and I'm going to trace it and cut. Okay, now I have the mouth cut out and I'm going to glue it onto the sandstone. I'm going to let my glue gun heat up for a few minutes and I will be back. I do believe the hardest part of this project is waiting for a glue gun to heat up or waiting for glue to dry with the clay pots. It just takes some time. Our hot glue gun is hot now. I have extra glue sticks close by in case I need them. And we are going to glue our face on to our trapezoid. So I'm going to first start with the black, and I'm just going to kind of place the black on here, see where I want it. And I'm going to also put the mouth on here. Mouth seems a little tall, a little big, so I'm going to cut that down a little bit. That looks better. Okay, now I'm going to glue these pieces on. If you need to use a hot glue gun finger protector, please do so. The felt that I got is pretty thick, so I will not be using one today. The protectors. I like to glue the black part of the eye pretty close to the edge of the trapezoid. I'm not going to put the mouth on quite yet. Okay, the next part is the white. Putting it right on top of the black, in the middle. Now the green. Now with the green, I'm going to put it more up into the corner, right hand side corner. Both of them. And the same with the pupil. More up into the corner. Up into the corner. Okay, next is the eyelid. I'm going to put a piece of, not a piece, but I'm going to put glue around that. And I'm going to lay it across the top and connect it on the sides of the eye. So it will look like that. And we're going to do the same to the other eye. All right. Now the mouth. I'm going to just glue on. Be careful, the mouth is a thinner piece, so just watch those fingers. All right, we have our face ready. We're just going to put it to the side for right now because we need to wrap our clay pots. All right, so now the fun part, we get to start wrapping our mummy. We're going to start with our 2 cardboard tubes. We're going to put one aside and we're going to take the other one and a piece of the muslin. And we are going to actually cover the bottom and the top first, like that. So we're going to need a little glue. We're going to take our piece of muslin, cover that bottom. I'm actually going to put some glue around the rim here, a little bit. Hold that. Okay. Until I need some more glue. We're going to come around. I'm going to put glue around the rim of the other side. Pull it kind of tight. Push it down. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to just cut right along here. Going to fray it a little bit. I'm going to glue it right to the other piece of muslin. Knit a little tight. Okay, the other side of the muslin, we're gonna fray this one. This is what I just cut off. Right. Now we're going to determine which side we want to be the back. I think I'll just start here. We're going to put some hot glue gun here. We're going to glue that on. And then we're going to wrap the muslin around. We're going to start working our way up the cardboard tube. Having it go over the top and the bottom just a tad. And then we're going to secure that. Right at the top there. And there's one of our first cardboard tubes. Okay, let's glue the second one. I'm gonna start right here. I could tell I wasn't quite in the frame. I was in the frame, but it was not as good as I would have liked. So I really want to show you guys what I'm doing here. So just a little hot glue there. We're going to put hot glue around the rim. Hold it over the rim. And hold it down. Bring it up to the other side. Put your hot glue around the rim. Come over the top. Pat it down. And bring this up. I'm gonna cut it where you think it will be really nice. Look. Take the end and fray it. And then glue this piece to the top, like so. Take your other piece that you just cut, fray it. We're going to start at the edge. Glue it on. We want it down just a little bit past the bottom. And then start wrapping your muslin around your cardboard tube. See how there's a little bit at the bottom there? And then we are going to start moving our way up. And making sure when we get to the top, I'm going to push that in a little bit, go over the top. And we're going to secure it right there. Okay. Okay, so we've got a little fringe on the bottom and some fringe on the top. So I put my cardboard tubes aside. Now we get to start wrapping our mummy. All right, so I'm going to tip it onto its side. I have let it dry for over 24 hours. And I'm going to take one strip and I'm going to find a spot on the bottom clay pot to glue my muslin down on. All right, so I'm gonna choose right there. I'm gonna glue it on right like that. All right, make sure it's dry pretty good before you start. You're going to take it around the bottom and I'm going to come across like so And then I'm going to come around the bottom part, like so. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come across again on the bottom. Then I'm going to start kind of placing it where I want it on here, kind of like that. So now I'm going to put a little glue. Make sure you guys can see this. Try. Bring it down here. A little more glue. Try. Bring a little more. Try. And again. Let it dry. And one more time, all the way to the end here. Okay, and then we're going to put a little glue there, the seam, that. Okay, and we can adjust it a little bit. All right, one little glue here. You'll just have to kind of mess with it a little bit to where you like it. All right, there's that bottom part. Okay. All right, now we're going to take our second piece of muslin. And I'm going to try to find where I just ended this one, just right here. So now I'm going to start this one up a little bit in about the same spot as that one. So right there. Let it dry for a second. Okay, now I'm going to start going around the pot. I'm going to come down a little bit because I want to grab onto that piece that was hanging out. Now I'm going to start gradually heading up the pots, making sure to cover all the clay pot with the muslin. You might have to come down and go over it a little bit, twice. That's okay. Pulling a little tight, but not too tight as you go along. Like so. We're going to stop right there. That's all the material we have. We're going to put some glue and we're going to secure it down. All right. Next piece. Same thing. We're going all the way up. Right on the last one that we just stopped at. We're going to add our next piece. We're going to start going around again. Fix that a little bit. Okay. Pulling tight. as we go around. Moving up slightly with every turn. Okay, and another one. Starting right where we left off. There's a little, for me, I have a little extra, it's not as tight because the pot is going inward again. So I'm just kind of moving it around a little bit, trying to make it so it will be a little tight. Keep going up and up. Being that we're getting to the face part, I'm going to do it a little looser. I don't want it as tight up here around the face. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. See how I'm not pulling it as tight? I'm kind of giving it a little room there. I'm going to secure it. Our next piece. Just letting it kind of fall into place on this one. Now we're to the rim part. I want it to hang down. See how it's loose? That's okay. Now I'm going to start heading up. Start pulling it tight again. And around the rim so this is hanging down nicely. And we're going to secure it. And this one we're going to secure it right under the rim and then on the top, like so. Okay, we're gonna take a look at how we're liking this. I'm liking this. It seems a little too loose, so I'm gonna add a little hot glue up here, just a little bit, just to make sure it stays in place. And in another different little spot, just to make sure it stays. All right, now we need to do the top part. Take your muslin, start right where you left off. Okay, and let's go around the rim first. I'm going to stand it up. We're going to go round like this. And then we're going to cut. Right, oh, we're going to go down a little bit, maybe right there. Let me turn so you can see. And now we're going to fray this, just like we've been doing. And this one's a little tougher. Just pull it, it will come. It will eventually come. But we need that fray. And we're going to pull it. I'm going to bring it down and secure it. Okay, we're going to take this and fray it. This piece is just hard to fray, but it will come. Oh, this one's really tough. Well, okay. We'll cut it again. See if it will give us a easier piece to fray. So when you run into little hiccups like this, it's okay. It happens. And we got it. All right, there we go. All right. So now we're just going to put some pieces on top. So we're going to have to cut some of these to make this work. Okay, so I want it to come down to right below the rim. Okay, and here again, right below the rim, which about right there. So I'm going to cut it about right there. And I'm going to fray it again. Oh, this one's easier to fray. That's a good thing. Okay. See how this one's going in this direction? We want all of these pieces to go in that same direction. So I'm going to put some hot glue on here. Oh, I need another glue stick. Okay, glue it right under the rim. Pull it tight and glue it on the other side just under the rim. Measure it in the same direction. And glue it on right under the rim again. Pull it tight. Not too tight, but pull it tight. And glue it right under the rim again. Okay, our last piece. Need to fray this again. And this time we're going to not go the same way. We're going to kind of go across, kind of diagonally this time. So I'm going to put my glue on this piece, still right about under the rim. It might hang down just a tad, that's okay. Bring it across and glue it down on this side. Pull it tight, but not too tight. We have our mummy. And now we're going to go through and just kind of get him exactly the way we want. Okay. So every one of these that you will do will be different. That's what makes them so unique. Your wrapping might be different than mine, and that's okay. Whatever works easiest for you is what you need to do. But every mummy will be different. So next we're going to glue our face onto our mummy. I think this is where I really want it because I've got this nice piece coming across here. And, well, actually, I actually like this better. I'm actually going to put the face here. So I'm going to glue it right below the rim there. And I'm just going to put a nice generous amount of hot glue on here. And I'm going to put the face right about there. All right, now we need to glue the arms on. So we're going to take a look at our mummy. Let's see, I see the seam there, so I want the seam facing inward and seam facing inward. Okay, so you see how you can see the curve here? So we've got the thinner part of the pot here, the fatter part here. This is where we want to put our arm on. So I'm going to put a good generous amount of glue. On that seam, and I'm going to put right there, like so. And I'm going to hold it for a few seconds. Make sure the bond takes. Okay, and now we're going to do the other side. Going to put hot glue right down the seam of the last part that we glued together. And going to glue it right like that and let it dry. All right, our mummy is definitely coming along and we are almost done. So now we want to put the muslin around the face. So we're going to bring it around like this. Okay, and we're going to look back here and we're going to connect it about right here, a little bit down, maybe a quarter of an inch down from the cardboard tube. So I'm going to cut it right there. Spray it. And just take that off. Move that one. Spray this side too. All right. Okay, so we're going to start about right there on this side. Okay, so some hot glue across the muslin. We're going to put it right there. Maybe over just a tad so it's on the face. And we're going to take it up and over the face and the head. Turn it. You can see I'm going to put some glue right here. Careful not to burn yourself, please. And I'm going to pull it tight and I'm going to bring it down like so. Okay, this is giving that fringe around the face right here. All right, now let's do the other side. We're going to take the other part of the muslin that we just did here, and we're going to give that fringe going. Okay, we're doing the same thing, just on the other side. So we gotta glue it here. I know my arm's in the way, I'm sorry. And bring it across. All right, so, sorry, I have to turn it towards me. I'm going to glue it. So when I put this one on, it is kind of connecting to the other one, touching it. That is a good thing. We're going to let it dry for a second, and then we're going to bring this one up and over the other way, like so. And we're going to connect this one down here. I'm going to cut it up a little bit. I'm going to give it that fringe. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it right about there. All right, we've got a nice fringe going around his face. Now I want to put like a little crisscross around here, but I think this is too big. I'm not liking that for this part. So I'm going to take a piece of the muslin and I'm going to measure. I'm pretty much just going to cut it in half. I'm going to find that halfway mark. And I'm going to give it, go down a little bit, and we're going to rip it. Okay, now we've got to do our fringe, get our fringe going. I've got some of those pieces sticking out too far. I really want those. So I'm just going to cut them. All right, there's one. Now let's do the other one. So we're going to need both. Now that we've pulled it apart and we've got that fray going again, we have to iron it again. So I've already heated up my iron and I'm just going to go through and iron these little strips. Okay, those are all ironed now. So now we're going to put this up and over his shoulder and then down and around into the back. Okay, so that's how it will look on the front. And we're going to connect it. Well, I think I'm actually going to connect it right here and you'll see why. And pull it down and connect it at the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to start with that about right there. Now we're going to do the other side. I'm actually going to use the piece that we just, the other part of the piece that we cut. So same thing, I'm going to glue it about in the same spot, kind of connecting it. Oh, I didn't spray it, but that's okay. It's okay. But I recommend spraying it. I'm going to spray it just a little bit while it's drying. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around and put it on the shoulder and come across like so. And connect it in the back, right by the other piece. Okay, it's looking really good, but I see something that I'm not really liking too much. So in the back, I'm seeing part of the pot. So I have a little strip from what we just did. I'm gonna cover his little tush up with this little strip. So I'm gonna put a little glue on here and we're gonna cover this tush of his. Oh, that's better. I like that much better. So this just goes to show that if there's a spot that you're not quite liking, you can always fix it. Just cover it with another piece of muslin and it will work out just fine. All right, we're going to put the finishing touches on him. Taking a piece of muslin, we're going to turn him to the back. See where the pieces are coming together? We are going to glue this right about there. Okay, so a little bit underneath. I'm going to take our glue and paste it right there. Okay. We are going to take this around the arm. This will help secure the arm so it's tighter on there. We're going to go around the chest. We're going to kind of push this arm forward because I don't want it to go towards the back. Okay, like it. And then we're going to bring it around to here, the back. We're going to cut it. Keeping it tight, we're going to fray it. We're going to glue it right over the first one that we just glued. Keeping it tight. And there you go. There's our mummy. It's an easy project. It's just very time consuming, but I think it's well worth it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel so you can have more fun content. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.